The Supreme Court strikes again, attacking whatever's left of the Voting Rights Act, and Republicans are jumping for joy with glee. Great. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome for the first time. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe only if you like the content. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about how the Supreme Court is basically trying to disenfranchise black voters by trying to basically say that it's not okay to gerrymander along racial lines, but regular gerrymandering is okay, I guess. Go figure. Let's talk about it.
Supreme Court just issued a ruling on a potentially groundbreaking redistricting case that could impact, for many years to come, the power of minority voters in this country. It focuses on the constitutionality of Louisiana's congressional map and how it was redrawn. The justices determined if Louisiana lawmakers properly balance constitutional and Voting Rights Act protections. I want to get straight to CBS News chief legal correspondent Jan Crawford, who has been reading through the opinion. Jan?
Well, Major, we just got this ruling within the last couple minutes. The justices in a 6-3 vote, a decision written by Justice Samuel Alito for the other 5 conservatives, are striking down a second majority black district in Louisiana, ruling that state officials focused on race, and that amounted to an unconstitutional racial gerrymander. Now, this decision is a major one under the Voting Rights Act. It will go well beyond Louisiana. It's going to make it, based on what we're seeing so far, it will make it harder for state officials to draw up these so-called majority-minority districts, which have been used for decades and have increased black representation and minority representation in Congress. And it also, I think, will call into question about a dozen or so existing majority-minority districts, mostly in the South. Now, those districts, as you know, Major, have been a way for Democrats to pick up seats in some of those states, those red states in the South. So this ruling is a win, I think we can say, for Republicans. But legally, this is a Supreme Court that going back 20 years or more has been saying in case after case, a consistent line of cases, that the Constitution is colorblind. And that's why we've seen the Supreme Court do things like throw out affirmative action in college admissions. This line of cases very consistent with the court's ruling today. What about the midterms? I think this ruling coming today, 6 months after it was argued back in October, may come too late to have an impact on these upcoming midterm elections. I think the focus will be going forward, limiting states from considering race when they're trying to consciously and intentionally draw up districts to increase minority representation. That means, Major, that you might not have as many of those kind of ink-blocked states or states that have districts that zigzag like a Z, where they go from, like this one did, from Shreveport all the way down 250 miles to Baton Rouge, scooping up black voters along the way to, again, pick up voters to get enough black voters there to have that majority. So I think, that will restrict some of those those districts for sure. Looking at this decision, it's 37 pages long. There is a dissent by liberal Justice Elena Kagan that appears to be longer than the majority, and it looks like a barn burner. She is saying that today's ruling will is gutting the Voting Rights Act and will call into peril some of the accomplishments that we've seen over that historic 1965 law that really dismantled Jim Crow and systemic barriers to voting for black people in the South. Of course, the Supreme Court today, as they have in recent decisions on voting rights, is saying the country has moved past that. It's time to stop intentionally focusing on race. And as Chief Justice John Roberts said in a case back in 2007, the way to end discrimination, race discrimination based on race, is to stop discriminating based on race. And this Supreme Court, with those 6 conservative justices, believes that racial preferences, whether it's in affirmative action, whether it's in redistricting, that can amount to unconstitutional race discrimination, Major.
There you go. As a black man, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at what I see the Supreme Court doing. Just take a look who's in the Supreme Court. Just take a look at it. Look at the racial breakdown. Look, right there. Look at the racial breakdown of the Supreme Court. Right? You got one black man. You got one black man who's a it's things I want to say about Clarence Thomas that I can't say publicly, but I will probably at some point. But then you have Sonia Sotomayor, a Latino woman, Alina Kagan, I presume a white woman, and Ketanji Brown Jackson, black woman. Look at that disparity. White, black, white, 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 white. You say, I'm doing this based off of race. Well, it's easy. It's easy for the so-called majority people in power to have this colored blindness bullshit. Everything is colored blind now. It's supposed to be color blind across the board. It's easy for you to say that because you all are in the majority, right? They call black people and other groups of people the minority for a reason. They've been calling us all minorities. Why? Because we don't have the majority in terms of population in the country. But that does not mean that we do not deserve to be represented. We still deserve representation. That's what the Voting Rights Act was designed to do. But you all want to cut the legs off from under it because why? It's a threat to you. It's a threat to you. It's a threat to you. It's always been a threat to you. It's just bullshit. But I can't say I'm surprised. I don't even want to sound like I'm angry right now because we as black folks, we understand what this country is, what it always has been. They're trying to make claims to say, oh, we've gotten past that. We're past that. No, we're not. No, we're not. You looked on social media and see how many racial incidents we had in this country. This isn't a post-racial fucking society. What else to say? The Voting Rights Act in particular, it was used to increase representation. That's what she said. Calling into question majority minority districts in the South. That's what this ruling does. The ruling itself. And it's a win for Republicans. You know, I thought the Supreme Court was not supposed to be, political. Bullshit. We all know it's political. And all of these people sitting on this damn court are unelected. Appointed. Unelected. Highest fucking court in the land. And we don't elect them. Yeah, okay. And again, they always say the Constitution is supposed to be fucking colorblind. Bullshit. Bullshit. It's not colorblind. It never has been. And people say, oh, you're just holding on to the past. Look around. It's not hard. It's not hard to see the discrimination. You want to talk about why it's more black people in these jails and in these prisons and everything, because from an ignorant outset, from an ignorant vantage point, an ignorant view, you would say, oh, well, these groups of people are more violent. They're more prone to crime, which is bullshit. They are being policed heavily. A watchful eye. They're not actually finding the real crime amongst the so-called majority, white people. This Supreme Court, man. Man, this is what you get. They are so afraid. They're so afraid because they know their numbers are dwindling. Their birth rates are dropping. And they're trying to do anything to reserve their power. They're trying to do everything possible to stay in power. That's what it is. They're scared. They're scared shitless out of their fucking minds. You can feel whatever way you want to feel. Go ahead and try to downvote and dislike the video. I don't care. It doesn't matter at this point. It's not going to stop the message from getting out. What else to say? Voting Rights Act dismantled Jim Crow and systemic barriers to black voting. That's what it was. That's what it did. And you all just couldn't accept it. Just couldn't accept it. Doing everything in your power to try to dismantle anything, to try not to give people of color any type of power in this country. You can't hold on to power forever. Power isn't loyal. It's not loyal to you. It's not loyal to me. It's not loyal. So try as you might to hold on. You will eventually fail. You will eventually fall. That's the truth. I don't say this as a threatening black man. That's just the way it goes. There's a reason why Egypt is not the superpower of the world anymore. Same goes for Rome. Things change, and at some point, the US will no longer be a dominant superpower. It happens. I'm not trying to get too far off a track here. This Supreme Court is a fucking joke. Always has been. And just showing you this discrepancy right here. I'm gonna move on because I'm just, yeah, I'm gonna move on right now.
I want to go back to the Supreme Court ruling on the Voting Rights Act. I know you said you haven't seen it.
When did it come out? Just now?
No, it came out this morning, but basically very much narrows the Voting Rights Act.
Was it considered a win for who?
A win for Republicans.
I love it.
But my question...
This is a very good... We can end this news conference right now. I want to read it.
Read? Since when the fuck does he read?
My question for you, Mr. President, is that some Republican governors have not responded in terms of what they're going to do. I guess early voting, for example, in Louisiana
Republican governors, what?
Republican governors.
What about it?
Early voting begins Saturday there, for instance. Should they redraw the map in the next couple of
I would. I mean, it depends. I mean, some states don't need to redraw, and some do. I mean, I know what the concept of the ruling. I just haven't seen the result. Yeah, I would say generally I would think that they would want to do it. Some are greatly helped, and some, you know, it didn't make much difference. Yeah, I would say they would do that. They have time to do it. Yeah, please.
Wow. Y'all are doing everything in your power to try to avoid the fucking ass kicking you're about to receive in November, right? You're going to do everything in your power to try to rig this election in y'all favor. You want to try to redraw the maps now. You want to try to redraw the maps now, because this is how scared they are. This is how terrified they are. They know that the voters are tired of them. They know that the voters don't want anything else to do with these damn Republicans, because they're not doing shit to address the affordability crisis in this country. They're not doing shit to fix any of the current problems. They're good. They're great at throwing out distractions to say, hey, look over here. It's like jingling keys to a baby. Hey, look over here. They're not doing anything to fix anything else, but this is where their attention goes. This is where their attention goes. We got to make sure that we stay in power to not do shit to help the American people. Prove me wrong. Here's a tweet from Eugene R. Miller. There was a time when black communities had little to no representation in Congress. Even in states like Ohio, districts were created to fix that, to make sure voices that were ignored could finally be heard. Now the standard has changed. It's not enough to show harm. You have to prove intent. Well, ain't that some shit? You have to prove intent. I'm gonna say something right now, and I'm not even trying to be controversial. As a black man, I don't put a motherfucking thing past the South. I know the South still racist as fuck. Hands down. I don't even live in the South, but I visit the South very frequently. I know for a fact they still racist as shit down there, especially in their political culture. So you want me to believe that we are somehow we're past all this racial shit. We're a post-racial society because they like to throw out the fact that we fucking elected Obama twice. You think electing one black man, I mean, come on, let's call it what he had a white mom. We as black people still embrace him, but let's call it what it is. Y'all don't see him as fully black or fully white. Well, no, let me take that back. The one drop rule exists. Y'all still believe in that dumb shit. But anyway, the point being is, you can't possibly, in your right mind, if you have any functioning brain cells and are able to critically think, you can't think for a split second that there are not still racist people that reside in the fucking South. They always chanting the stupid ass fucking dumbest fucking slogan in the world about the South shall rise again. Well, you know what? It's not really looking so dumb now, because the Supreme Court is helping them with that. The Supreme Court is aiding in this. This has been the grand vision all along, for the South to fucking rise again. What the fuck does that even mean? Because as a black man, I don't think I want the South to fucking rise again. I comment on cringe post. Republicans will do everything in their power to ensure black people have no power. Well, ain't that the damn truth? Yeah, it's easy. It's easy. The thing is about this whole gerrymandering on racial lines, they still allow regular gerrymandering. They just don't want you to do it based on race. They're still allowed a political gerrymandering. But see, they try to blur the lines. They try to blur the lines because, again, the whole thing is designed to not help black people get any form of power or representation, or any minority for that matter, because anybody that's basically not going to vote Republican, that's not going to keep white folks in power, they don't want them. They don't even want them to vote. In all reality, this is what it is in a nutshell. And again, we cannot be nice. We cannot keep playing nice with these fuckers. We can't keep sitting up here trying to, oh, well, we have to be. They're not playing civil. They're not playing by the rules. There are people on that fucking Supreme Court that should not be there right now. That is a fact. Everybody seems to forget all the stunts and the bullshit Mitch McConnell pulled. Come on now. You wouldn't even let you wouldn't let President Obama get his last Supreme Court pick in his final year in office. But yet, in an election year, when the fat orange fucker was in power, you rushed that woman through. I had to stop myself. The point being is they're hypocritical, so you can't listen or believe a fucking thing that they say. I don't believe anything. When a politician's talking, when a politician is moving their fucking lips, I don't trust a fucking thing they say. It doesn't matter red or blue. I don't trust the motherfucking thing they say, because at the end of the day, they are all the representatives, the senators and the representatives. Representatives. They represent rich people. They don't represent the people that ain't got no true power or organization behind them. They represent the rich people. That's what it's about. And they throw shit out like this to keep us all divided, to keep us angry at each other, which we actually got a reason to be angry about this. But they do all of this to throw us off, because the rich people are just constantly going to continue to fuck us over, because they're going to keep throwing out red meat like this to keep us at each other's necks. It's an evil, ingenious plan. But these damn Republicans, man, and the Democrats ain't fighting hard enough. I mean, I get it. There's nothing that they could have done. This has to do with the Supreme Court. This is a totally, completely different branch of government. But at the end of the day, if Democrats get back in power, if you ever get a trifecta again, you need to push the fucking envelope. Push the envelope. Don't take the kid gloves off the second you walk in the fucking door. Stop playing nice. Oh, my colleague or the people on the other. No, fuck all that. Fuck all that. Be cutthroat, be bitter, ram the shit down their fucking throat like they doing us. Make them swallow it. Cryptologic thinker. Good. The Voting Rights Act, for the most part, is just racist nonsense. This person has to be a bot. It has to be a bot. Or just somebody who's really fucking stupid. You think the Voting Rights Act was racist nonsense, but you don't think everything that happened prior to the Voting Rights Act had anything to do with race. This is the stuff I'm talking about. Like it's pure perpetual gaslighting at its best, and stupidity at its worst. Like there's no in between with these folks. Like I could literally spend a whole bunch of time just going in on this dumbass, but there's no point. Okay, there's no point. When you see stuff like this, your best bet, like, I want you to do better than me. I want you to do better than me. I don't want you to get upset. I don't want you to raise your blood pressure. When you see ignorant shit like this, just be like, this person is just stupid as fuck. They just stupid people. And we have a shit ton of stupid people in this country. Don't you ever forget it. The right-wing extremist court strikes down a map intended to fight existing gerrymandering. Well, according to them, it's to fight gerrymandering according to or going along racial lines. Gerrymandering on the political side is just fine, but when you throw race into it, all of a sudden now it's unconstitutional. Man, I just can't. I just can't with this shit. Washahat Ali says Democrats should gerrymander the hell out of their districts, neutralize Republican voters. Supreme Court is cool with it. So just flex until MAGA cries uncle. Fight fire with fire. You can't be civil with fascists. That's exactly what I just said. You can't be civil with these folks. Wajahad Ali is completely correct. You can't be civil with these people. There's no point of trying to. These people, I'm not even trying to be like polarizing when I say this. They are coming for your fucking necks. They want you down. They don't want you to vote. If they had it their way, I'm telling you, a lot of people in this country wouldn't mind going back to the days of slavery. I'm not saying this to be all hyperbolic and bullshit. This is a fact. There are people that still share this notion in their feeble fucking smooth brains. This is how they really feel, because they don't like people of color. They don't like minorities. They think this is a Christian white fucking nation when it never has been that. It's just crazy. I don't even want to get into the whole immigration issue because I said this before on plenty of other past videos. I don't give a shit who comes over here. You can't be talking about who can come and who don't. You can't be talking about who belongs here and who doesn't when the land itself is stolen. The people in power stole it. That's a fact. And who are in power? White people. Let's just call it what it is. Let's stop being so nonchalant about it. Let's stop beating around the bush. Let's call a spade a spade. Call it for what the fuck it is. White people are trying to retain power. This is how it goes. They look at the Democratic Party and see you got blacks, whites, Asians, Hispanics. You got some of everybody in the Democratic Party. And then you look at the fucking Republican Party and tell me what the fuck you see. Tell me what you see in the Republican Party. Huh? Who the fuck is in the Republican Party? All you got to do is look at it. No type of fucking diversity at all. But they think the Republican Party is a full representation of what America is. And you couldn't be further from the fucking truth. Yes, Democrats are gerrymander the fuck out of everything. Don't let if it's a blue state, let it be a completely blue state. Shouldn't be a Republican in fucking office at all. Right. Hit them with fire. Fire with fire. Fuck it. You want to play this game? Y'all better be lucky. You better be lucky I don't have no power in this country. Boy, you better be lucky I ain't got no fucking power. And just to add on to that last part, to clarify, I am not a Democrat. I lean left. I'm not a Democrat. Because I say I'm not a Democrat, because if the Democrats get in power and don't do shit, and I mean don't do shit, I'm going to have this same type of ferocity and anger that I have for them. I'm going to come for their head just like I would do Republicans. This is exactly why I'm not the Democrats have to earn my way back into the party. You have to earn me. I'm not trying to even sound like I'm some sassy B word. But the point being, I'm saying the point that I'm making here is the reason I'm not a Democrat is because Democrats have let me down in the past too. But I will say this, Democrats are not trying to Democrats do gerrymandering as well. I'm not going to play this game and say they don't, but they don't do it on the same level or to the extent that Republicans do. And this is why it's like, all right, you got to take the kid gloves off. You cannot do your little dilly dally song and dance. You got to beat their ass, metaphorically speaking, and maybe some other shit if you read between the lines. House Democrats. Today's Supreme Court decision will empower Trump and Republicans to suppress voters of color. Republicans want to rig our elections in their favor, but Democrats won't let them. I don't see how. We will fight back against this attack on our democracy. Yeah, okay. I don't want to sound like I don't believe you, but it's just I don't believe you. You gotta show me. That's all. Hakeem Jeffries. Voter suppression is a way of life for Donald Trump and the far-right extremists on the Supreme Court. Republicans know they cannot win a free and fair election in November, and so they are desperate to rig it. We will never let them succeed. What do you want me to say? I mean, Hakeem Jeffries, man, it's good to see that, you know, another brother, a black person gets in power and the speakership and everything, but it's like, damn, man, you don't got that fire, you ain't got that pizzazz, you know, the way we need you right now. I know it's in you. You from New York. I know it's there. You just, you know, you gotta let it out. You gotta be authentic and let the people see the real you. That's it. That will go a long way. This is why I can never be a politician, because I don't know how to shut it off. I'm not gonna sit up here and play the political game. I will never ever get elected. Okay, but yeah, man, I don't want to sit here and bash Hakeem Jeffries. It's just be more authentic, brother. That's all. And you know, you doing what you got to do. You need some more force behind you, man. You need that bite. You need that grit. I know it's there. You got to let it out, man. Wajahat Ali. Again, Supreme Court is using race as a criteria to implement equitable solution. Is racist. Supreme Court. ICE, go ahead and use racial profiling in California. Also, we see reverse racism and religious discrimination against white Christians everywhere. So, man, it's so obvious. At the end of the day, it's obvious. It's exactly what I stated. It's white power trying to keep white power in power. That's all it is at the end of the day. I don't give a shit what nobody says. There's going to be a lot of people that don't like, dislike, downvote this video. I don't give a shit. But if you understand from my perspective and you like what I'm saying, upvote the video, because they are going to downvote the shit out of this video. And they're trying to make it to where no one else sees this. So give it a thumbs up if you like it and you agree with it. Like, seriously, because they are going to downvote the shit out of this video. All it is white power trying to maintain white power. That's all it is. They see it's too many people of color over here. And they say, oh, they're all trying to get political. And see, when that don't work, they're going to go back to their age-old plan of, oh, let's just try to keep them all divided. Let's keep them at each other's throats. And unfortunately, I think it's going to work to a degree. Because if you can't see what's really at play, if you can't see what's really at stake, you know, it's two things. It's white power trying to hold on to white power. And, well, not white power. What am I saying? It's white power trying to hold on to power. That's what it's about. And ultimately, it's class. It's a class issue. It's a race and it's a class issue. It can be two things at the same time. I used to think it was just class, but I'm starting to see now it's a race and it's a class issue. And they're fighting on both fronts because they want to keep flooding the zone with shit and keep the waters muddy. That's what they want. So just continue to stand up, stand your ground. Don't bend your knee. Don't fall or frail. Don't. Just don't. If you know it's wrong, period. What they're doing is wrong. They're trying to cut people out. They say, oh, the whole thing is based on, basically they're saying black people shouldn't have districts. That's essentially what you're saying. Black people shouldn't be districts. Oh, because we don't all necessarily live in the same district, so we shouldn't have districts. Well, if we already don't have the majority, that means we're not going to have the proper representation that we need. So you end up getting representatives who don't really necessarily represent those districts like that. It's not true representation. You know, it's like, it's so much hypocrisy in this country. I'm an American citizen, but they'll accuse me of not being an American citizen. They'll accuse me of not being patriotic because I'm criticizing and I'm critiquing this racist ass fucked up system. Yes, I'm critiquing the system. It doesn't make me un-American because I'm critiquing the system. Unless the system is a true representation of America, which is it? You can't have it both ways. Because if the system is a true representation of America, well, this is what you get. It's that simple. But at the end of the day, like I always try to end my videos, we are stronger together when we have the numbers. This is true. So stand united against this shit. Stand united. Black people, white people, Asians, Hispanics, Native Americans, we can all stand united together. Obviously not the racist white people, the white people who got common sense and a good head on their shoulders. Yes, you can stand united with us against this bullshit because you see what they're trying to do and it's fucking wrong. It's just wrong. And it's coming out of a place of fear because you're worried about down the line when you no longer have the majority. You think that other people are going to do to you what you've been doing to other people. That's what it boils down to.